to give you an update on the DECO grant. I spoke with our grant monitor last week, and he informed me that our deadline, which is tomorrow, will just be for us to submit any additional canceled checks and invoices that we are wanting to claim. Last week, I believe I said about $3,400 worth of additional amounts we may be able to deduct. We will not need to send them any money at this point. They're going to look at what we submit, and then they'll get back with us after tomorrow. So I hope by this afternoon to be able to send him an email. And they just require it by email. I'll send him that email and let him know where we think we stand, and then he'll get back with us in a few weeks. And so I'll be probably coming back to say what we've come up with as a figure, and if there's any we need to reimburse. Looks like at the very least there'll be $1,400 or $1,500 we'll have to reimburse.
1,500.
That's what I would guess, somewhere in that range.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, better than the 4,800.
Yeah.
We were at. And then the other item I had, our computer printer that works on a network in our office has quit. It needs to be replaced. I have would ask to submit a amendment to the budget, moving money from the law library fund to our equipment fund.
That's fine.
So we're gonna make a motion to pass, or to transfer, looks like what,
$1,200.
$1,200 to the equipment fund from the law library fund.
That's correct.
All right, I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right. Motion pass.
I'll make a copy of that. What do you, I'll make a copy and I'll give this to you.
Okay.
That's right, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
What's going on there?
Got a balance of $72,455.29. I'm still working on your
I understand, I appreciate it.
budget numbers. And running down those
Is that,
copies of them in one.
Yeah, I'm gonna get them as soon as I get out of here. I'll go upstairs and I'll get those.
does that help you with, he provided you a little bit, is that kind of what you got?
Well, I think that was about where, I think he may have an extra month in there, or maybe ours doesn't. So.
If there's anything on those numbers I can help you with, just let me know.
We're right on, you know, about county clerk and all that, so.
But I'm on nights this week, so during the day I'm available. Okay.
Okay.
And Keith can do this, I don't know if you just give it to you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Board, I think you have next. Yeah, he's fine. You've been swimming that pool now, haven't you?
It's closed up.
But it's salt water, isn't it? It won't freeze, will it?
No, it shouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe you might jump in there.
Oh, I don't think so.
Had a guy call me this morning, that, you know, they're building a new pool downtown, the new dressing room. Have you seen it? And cities. It had the old one tore down. And said that the guy didn't, I didn't know the name. I don't know where it's from, but it's running behind it. The space they has to have it open by swimming time, which I don't know when that is, 1st of June maybe, or
Yeah, that's even schools now.
Yeah.
they say they won't do it now, I don't know.
Where's it, is this in, where is this at?
The Metropolis City Core, they're building a new, the
Oh.
changing area, it's all
Yeah.
gonna be, it's all new. I talked to Randy Pugh last night, and he said they got an out-of-town group tearing it down.
Yeah, well, he's buying, Chris Horner, but now, I don't know where the contractors from.
Nellie and Millie's doing the plumbing, I think.
Yeah, Eddie Beck called me this morning, said, it looked like he could have that done, if the weather, you know,
Yeah.
also.
Remember when they used to have that big high dive?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That was fun. Now you can hardly find pools with diving boards, it seems like.
Yeah, they don't have the liability.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling, yeah, I used to clean up when I was in grade school, go down and clean those dressing rooms up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when it first opened. I was about 12 maybe, something like that.
Wow.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Joe, I think you're next here.
So where we stand on the track hole, I'm interested.
I haven't got any information yet. I mean, I'm probably won't get anything back until, January.
Have you send them a bid form, or will they just bid on it?
Yeah, no, I've sent them the specifications and bid forms, and there's a couple of them that have already come by to look at our machine and
Yeah.
see if they can give a trade-in price on it. So I know it's in the works.
Good.
Probably won't be until, January before I have any information, so.
Well, that, water leak I talked to you about a month ago, was it ended up being, was it on the people that own the house, or was it on Fort Massac?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. We called Fort Massac. I think Fort Massac fixed it.
Yeah, cause it looked like it,
Well, you know, David Travis, he does a lot of private work as well, so I'm not really sure. You know, he may have just done it,
I
but,
could tell they ordered for the utilities to be marked, it seemed like the next day, and you could tell they dug around there, so.
yeah,
It looks like it was awful close to the road, though.
it was. But it really depends on, which side of the meter it's on, as
Yeah.
to whether it's private or.
I was just afraid the weather was getting cold, somebody come around that corner, hit a sheet of ice, end up in the ditch.
Well, that side over there, you can just run up in their yard.
Yeah. I guess that is true.
Yeah. You know, it was suggested to me, and a couple of weeks ago, it was suggested to me that, you know, we've been talking about flashing lights up here at this corner of Country Club and all that.
Yes.
It was suggested that we, you know, I don't even know exactly how to do it, but we can do it somehow about accepting donations to put lights up. And even this person that suggested it to me said he would donate, that's why he suggested it, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something.
Well, put up a caution line.
Put up flashing lights up there just for safety's sake. I mean, I don't know if that's something that we wanna entertain or wanna get into, because, you know, I'd be viewing the wrong light.
Yeah.
Would that be, solar?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think solar would be the way to go on that, but I don't know that we're gonna do it or not do it, or, you know, I mean, as far as requesting donations, and I'm not sure, if, you know, I know money is just, it's gonna be an object from here on out for us to do.
How much were those solar lights? I don't remember.
About $1,800 a piece.
So it'd be like two of them, or? We should
Well,
put them on the country club.
Two red
side.
ones for the stop sign side, and then, you know, you could put up
Two
yellow
for the
flashing
coun-
ones on the other, you know, so it's 2 or 4 on it.
What's about 7,200 or for four?
For 4, yeah, I mean, that's just raw buying the lights. I mean, there's gonna be other things, hardware, poles, you know, things we'd have to convert, so, you know,
Yeah.
the price tag, when it's all said and done, including our labor, is gonna be quite high.
Yeah.
You know, so. it's just,
Probably 10,000 on forward,
yeah,
close.
so.
I think it'd be difficult, you know, to ask people to donate, you know, for that. I just don't think, I think they would expect the county to try to do it, you know.
I know, that's why I'm saying, I don't know if it's something we wanna do, because
Yeah.
people probably just say.
I mean,
"No,
if
good.
people wanted
We
to,
pay
I-
that," blah, 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 you
Yeah.
know, and,
And if you have someone out there that just wants to, I guess you can accept it, but it'd be difficult to go out there and ask people
okay,
to
I just,
donate.
I just wanted to throw that out there so you
Yeah.
guys can think about it or whatever. I don't know that, I'm like you, I don't really know if it's a good idea to just go
Yeah.
out and advertise and ask.
Yeah, I think,
It's kinda like a,
I don't know, I think it'd be difficult. But I mean, if you have someone that walks in your office and just wants to give, I mean, you know.
You know, Joe, they used to have that, you probably don't remember, but that's, caution light at 45 and 169. You remember that thing, that up over here?
well, there's one on the pole right now.
Okay, they just moved it over to the,
It's on the stop sign post. At 45 and 169?
uh-huh,
Yeah.
okay,
As soon as you come over the railroad track, it's on the stop sign.
okay. I guess I've seen noticed, they used to have those, you know, several places.
Yeah.
They took them all down.
Two that I'm aware of, right there, and then one over by beaches on 145 and 45. They have-
Yep.
That's about the only two I'm really thinking of that I know that's in our county.
Well, there used to be one at the 10th and Fair also,
Well, yeah, there is.
in
one.
town. May still be there, I don't know.
Yeah, it's still hanging over.
Well, at what point do you feel like you might make a decision if you're gonna do this solar?
Well, like I said, I mean, I submitted you all a budget last year, and we're over budget with normal items.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it's something that people don't wanna hear, but we're just way overextended on everything. And I don't know.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know.
Have you got plenty of work to do?
I mean, it's just a matter of buying the materials, keeping up the crew that we have, keeping up the equipment that we have. I mean, you just have to look at it as a whole. It's not just, it's not just putting oil on a road or a rock on a road. I mean, it's everything that we've got to have to operate.
Mhm.
And that's no secret to you guys, but to the
Yeah.
general public, if they don't see something going on a road, they think that we're not doing our job, or
Mhm.
we're not spending money right way and everything else. But
Right.
there's a lot of things to consider other than
There's
just.
a lot of things behind the scenes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean,
Keeps this wheel turning, yeah.
like this track hoe is one thing. I mean, we won't be able to do any brush clearing anymore unless we invest in spending a lot of money on a different track hoe or fixing the one we have. I mean, when you talk about something like that, I mean, those are things that you have to consider in your budget as a whole, that just, it just overextends you. Not saying we can't ever get it done, but I don't know when the proper time is to do it. I mean, I know
I know a lot of people in the community it's been a concern about that intersection, I wish we could, if you can get it to the budget sometime, to get it done, I think people would appreciate it. I'm not saying that would stop accidents, cause I think we all agree that usually people stop and then they pull out. I think that's the way it's handled, but maybe it'll bring more attention to it and prevent somebody from getting hurt, We're in a tough situation with that.
I'll definitely see what we can do. I mean, if we can skimp on something else to be able to do that, then we will.
Is your equipment doing pretty good overall?
Not last week.
Uh-oh.
Had about, we got 3 out of our 6 trucks down right now, and both brush cutters down.
Sorry to hear. Should've asked.
Track hoe down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not been a good couple weeks.
Get Gerald out there, do a little maintenance work on it, so.
Yeah, I'll come with my stuff. Brush, yes, I can't, you got that John Deere brush cutter, is that what you're talking about, or bush hog?
No, I'm talking about the brush cutter on the end of the John Deere tractor, that
Have you another one?
we got one that goes, on a Kubota.
Oh, do you?
Little Kubota excavator, and
Okay.
both of them are down. Both of them are being repaired right now.
The motors, the hydraulic motors?
Well, I'm not sure about the John Deere one, the bearings went out on it, and we replaced the bearings, and it still has a problem, so I don't think we've actually troubleshooted
Cured
it
it.
enough to figure out what it is. The other one, it's something to do with the bar, the T-bar, and some of the bearings and stuff in it too, and it's just waiting on
I
parts.
imagine it brushed pretty hard on something like that.
It is, I mean, if you stick to mowing small stuff, it's a lot better on it, but you start chopping into the big stuff, it
I'll
starts,
tell you that, but cutting those limbs back, that really does a good job.
it sure helps out.
It does.
Yeah. I know, I know you guys have been approached here lately, when I'm not here, about subdivision deals and stuff like that. I think I've been approached too, again, you know, so I don't know that we can really talk about anything today, but Patrick is maybe getting really close on a revision to our subdivision ordinance, and sometime we probably need to make some time to talk about it again.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever y'all are. It needs to be updated. You know, it really does. That way maybe we won't have these issues in the future, you know.
Yeah, I know the people right now in, Joshua Drive are the ones that are
Right.
talking to me now. You know, basically just wanting a list as to what they need to do for us,
Right.
for it to be taken up.
Yeah.
Some of the things that we need to, you know, I mean, I can come up with a list for my part, but for the rest of the parts, you know, about the plat acceptance and all that stuff is not really 100% in my hands, so.
You know, Joe, I think what we're gonna run into, got a call from one of the residents of Christian Cove out there. Well, see, their road, gravel road is too narrow. Well, it wasn't 2 or 3 years ago. And they wanted me to take that grader out there and just grade the grass off. Well, that's probably not gonna do it. I mean, I think a man's gonna find that there's not enough material there because, you know, wind erosion and, water erosion and everything else involved. So, I mean, I don't think any of this is gonna be any quick fix and cheap fix.
Oh, no.
You know, I just don't.
That's why
You think they may as well get ready to, you know, spend not a whole lot, but, you know, some serious money on it.
So, you know, and the age-old problem that I'm seeing time after time after time after time is it's not even the developers of the subdivisions asking us, it's all the residents that get stuck with owning a property and building a house on it, and they want it, and they're just not aware of the situation before they do it. And they're the ones holding the bag, and they're the ones wanting us to take it over, and the subdivision developers are like, well, what do I care? I already sold a lot.
That's exactly right.
You know, that's where, that's the gist of the problem that needs to be fixed.
And see, after I believe Christian Cove had that, I guess somebody from Marion, I don't know if the Short Brothers or it was, but put that oil and chip down, didn't get wide enough. And, I mean, so the developer should have overseen that process. But the people called this and paid for it. Because I guess the developer wouldn't and, they're screwed again.
Yeah.
That's kind of big thing.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, it's coming down the line. I'm thinking that Patrick had said he's pretty close to another version, so we can talk about it again soon.
Sounds good.
Other than that, I can't think of anything else.
Thank you.
no, I'm good.
All right. Hope,
Okay.
the day gets better out there and all the equipment gets back online.
Oh, me too, thank you.
I was in Fort Leonard.
You and Charlie, right?
No, I'd sent somebody else to it, go. And I did call them today, but I don't know if he wasn't there. Never did come to the phone. So, you need to do that this morning?
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, the
make
price
pass
they
that.
offered me wasn't that bad.
No, really, it's not.
Sticker for $34,000, the last price they shot me was $22,500, so it's not too bad.
No. I think they probably wanting to move it.
When do you get the check from the insurance company?
Talked to, this is when I was gonna ask Juanita about, they're supposed to send a check out today, it's gonna be for $17,054. And that's including the cost of the car, was $17,225 is what they give us for the car, and they took $2,500 off for our deductible, which we will get that back when, after they sue State Farm. But Patrick said, I can take that $2,500 out of contingency and add to this.
So you're getting 17,235 minus 2,500,
Yeah.
so you're getting 14,735.
That's just for the car. Then they're gonna give me an extra, was it $2,946? That's gonna be for the stripe package, the labor, taking the equipment out of the car, putting it back on the car, everything that we would have to do to swap our equipment.
Was you able to keep that thing in the front?
Yeah.
Good.
So actually, we'll end up with about 19,500. So they've got $3,000 short, and I've got that in the DUI fund and the police vehicle fund.
Okay.
So I'll be-
But right now, you'll end up with about 17,720 until you get that money back from
Yeah.
State Farm. And then when you get that money back, we'll pay back into the contingency fund. Right.
So if,
What kind of time frame they on that, like 6 months, or did that take a year?
I don't think it'll take very long at all. State Farm is gonna be the company that's gonna be at fault here.
Who does that striping, Ted?
We ordered the stripes from a place that we get all of our police equipment from, and we go around to different body shops and let them put them on. Try to take turns. Like I said, the difference between a new
This car out here, it seemed like it just sits there. Is anyone driving it? The new one?
The striped one?
Yeah.
I've got a cage to put in it. As soon as
Oh.
the cage comes in, Deputy McCutcheon gets that one.
Okay, because I just noticed it seemed like it's been sitting
Yeah.
there, and I thought, well, maybe y'all was waiting on something. I didn't know.
2010 to 2011 cages all fit the same. This is the 2012. So
Oh.
they have to, they're special ordering the cages for these cars.
Okay, high or?
Now, they're not that much higher, it's just, if I let him have it and he puts all of his equipment in the car, then they'll call and say, well, we need the car back, he's gotta take everything back out of it to get the cage in.
The ones, other cages, can you do anything with them or sell them?
No, and that's something else I was gonna bring up. Patrick is putting together a intergovernmental agreement between my office and Brookport. Mayor Clayford called me a couple weeks ago and wanted to know if we had any used equipment. They're really hurting for radio equipment. You know, the last couple of months, we've been swapping out, getting new equipment, and I had 3 sets of old radios that we'll never use anymore, and they could desperately use them. But Patrick said we need to get something in writing, that you guys pass it.
Okay.
Then there was a light bar and 2 cages that we can't fit in our cars anymore. We're gonna add a little bit.
How about do we have 2 cars we was gonna sell?
We already sold,
Already sold them?
yeah, we stripped everything out of those, and that's part of what this stuff is.
Okay.
Cause those were Crown Victorias, and after, well, starting this year, you can't get Crown Victorias anymore. They
So
still,
when you sell that, will you just contact Bill over there and they take it off our insurance and they have the new?
yeah, already done.
Okay. Good deal.
Like I said, we're looking at either the brand new car or used one. There was only, I figured $3,000 difference between the two.
How many miles did he have on that car?
Around 60.
Did he? Is he back to work? I thought he was asking on the radio out there, and I said, well, I believe he is.
Yeah, he only took off a couple of days to come back.
So now just the older vehicles we have is the Durangos.
The three oldest ones we got are the three Durangos, two white ones like mine and Josh's and Kayla's. Two of those have 170,000 on it. Mine's got like 110.
I think if we ever get to that point, we get rid of those, the corner might be interested, right? Would that work for a corner maybe or not? Don't know.
Somebody told me they didn't think that casket would go in,
Oh, okay.
or whatever they got them in.
I don't know what we would ever get for him.
He really needs a minivan is what he needs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I thought we don't have one, we got a big cargo van over there, don't you? What do you use that for?
Transport inmates to the prison and get meals. They haul up meals from somewhere.
It just got a few miles on it.
That van's probably got 50,000 on it. They just don't drive it that much.
Looks nice.
Well, I don't think he was in a bind right now, was he,
No,
Jason?
he just
said he
asked.
might get in a bind someday.
Yeah. Are any of those Durangos, are they four-wheel drive?
Well, all-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. That's kind of what Joe Miller, Esda was wanting with it,
Yeah.
so maybe someday.
Have you got one still for him, or was you gonna get one in January, or you know that?
I'd like to find one if we can find one at the right price, because I need, one of those two that I've got, sooner or later, I'm gonna lose a motor or transmission, and I just know it's coming, and I'd rather,
So you got two of them with 170,000.
they're running right now, but I'd hate to have to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on something that's got that much money.
Yeah. Is Southern Five, is that out? Are they?
Well, last time I talked to Lisa, there's really nothing available right now. This government's come back here with all the funding.
What, do they gonna do that first of the year, or, I mean, is there a time when that you'd be more apt to get one?
They got two different phases. I think the manpower grant's usually in the spring of the year, and then the equipment grants are in the fall of the year.
Okay.
How about, I was reading in the news, or seeing the news, reading the paper, I guess the government's looking at doing grants for police departments, this, like a camera that would be on your outfit or something.
They're really pushing the body cameras, the vehicle cameras.
Is that something we get a grant on? and
Don't
do?
have to. I mean, if they make the law that we have to wear one and when they don't provide the money, I don't know where we're gonna get the money.
Right.
Are they real expensive?
We're looking at 10 to 12 cars and 10 to 12 officers each having to wear one of them. We could spend $25,000 at least.
Well, has that got film in it, or how does that work?
It's a digital media card, like in a camera.
Does it transport it back, or you have to take it out of the
We have
camera?
to take it out of the camera every day and put it on a server.
Every day?
Probably, yeah. And then, how long do we have to keep them? Depends on how big the server we have to keep.
Does that just start filling when the lights are activated or something?
Right now, that's the way the cars are. Since you turn on the lights, it starts. But, a lot of people are talking now that, they want, as soon as, if the officer wears a body cam, they're wanting him to start that as soon as he comes on duty and have it running for 8 hours. He's got to have some free time too.
Well, yeah, I mean, that could be
Might
an
not
issue.
be a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what-
I wouldn't want that where I work at, trust me.
Yes, politicians are involved in that.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm sure y'all got unions and lobbyists that would try to prevent that.
Cameras are a good thing. You just, if you can get it down to where you can use it the right way.
Surely they can sync that body camera where when the lights are activated, it activates. I mean, there wouldn't be nothing wrong with it if he was in a pursuit to have that turned on.
The they're saying, well, if you're in the office talking to somebody, or just out on the street talking to somebody, and you're not in a car, they want it running.
No, that should be a private conversation. What do you think?
That's, I mean, that's the laws now. We can't record your conversations unless, you know, we tell you ahead of time that we're gonna do it.
Well, yeah, I understand, yeah, that's exactly right, so, no, that's silly, so I don't want all that. But I think it would help you all if you had one in your car with you in some situations.
We just, you know, never had the money before.
Or maybe, maybe they'll provide that. Didn't they provide them like a blanket of money back after 9/11 with some things for small?
They spent a lot of money on a lot of stuff that wasn't needed.
Okay. So maybe they'll spend some on this,
Somebody will have to.
yeah.
There was a voucher in there towards the very end, for like $3,000. I want to point that out.
3,500 gasoline expense.
No, we've been to OK Electric. That was the next to last.
I hear $3,009.
Yeah, some of that is to repair the hot water heater that we have over in the jail, and a part of it is for electrical components to go with that diesel generator. We're trying to just buy some parts at a time.
It says furnished three-phase generator to main power supply with connectors, new water heater control for 100-gallon water heater, boiler plus shipping and tax.
We got just enough parts now to get it going, probably wait till next year so we can get some more money for the labor to hook it up. That's our backup generator to the gas generator.
Is the gas one still hooked up? But the other one is not?
No, not yet. City poured some concrete and set a pole for us, so we've got that in place. We just need to get all the switches and connectors together and get some wire and have it hook it up. It may be June next year for it. Get it all together.
Do you wanna leave it on that trailer, Ted? You know, that, what we've told is not, evidently not true.
Well, this way, the way Skinner's gonna hook it up is gonna have a quick connect to it.
Mhm.
So if we needed that generator someplace else in the county, we
Oh.
just disconnect it and
Yeah.
haul it off.
And that work, I mean, this, what you're saying, this bill will be done this year, right? This work?
Well, no, we bought all the components this year. Next year, for 2015, it'll be the labor part of it, when he goes in there and puts it all together.
Okay.
We figured it'd take us at least a year to get all this done.
You know, those parts for that generator's expensive.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to try to get with the city, see if they can give us a price on some wire. Yeah, maybe in the next couple of years, you'll get this other generator if you wanna use it. That's about all we got.
Thank you,
Thank
Sheriff.
Thank you, Ted.
School again, so,
Is everything going all right, Jeremy?
very good, keeping busy and,
I think the number one thing that's important to us is making sure Gerald's happy with his insurance.
Oh, I didn't wanna say anything. I'm not happy.
no, don't,
If you had an issue, you gotta get that resolved.
You can't have the donuts back, man. You can get it back.
oh, I don't want them back. I've got more I'm gonna put in the break room here in a minute, so.
I just got a small problem.
Okay.
And I think I know the problem. They won't pay my claim.
Okay,
They say they need more information.
okay,
Now, I'll tell you what I believe it is. I don't think they can figure out who is the primary.
okay. Well, you're on the maxi, so we're primary.
I never had a bit of problem till I got on the, the government insurance.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say, so the EOB probably said, please give us a call, we need more information.
That's, yeah, and they
Yeah.
won't pay it.
So, just call up, it's Val, is your adjuster, and just ask for Val, and,
What's her number, do you know?
yep, it's 1-800-448-4689, and when the girl answers, just tell them you need to speak with Val, you're with Massac County.
Okay.
So, probably they're gonna ask you, more than likely is, was this an accident at home, those sorts of questions,
Yeah.
and they get those answers and they'll process it, no big deal.
I got a piece of glass in my foot
Oh,
and had it dug out. I think it's $14 at Ready Care, I think it was.
mhm.
And,
Yeah, they're gonna ask you if, you know,
402.
assuming, I doubt they'll ask if it's work comp related, but you never know. That may be one of the questions.
Maybe.
but-
I think it's.
So, all right, well. That's my copy. Make sure I didn't use any other recycled paper.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff, what you're looking at is last year's costs broke down compared to 10 months worth of data, and then we took the 10 months ending in 10/31/14 and annualized it for everything. So, big difference was you had 55 employees on the plan a year ago. Right now, we're looking at 63 people. So we've hired a few, but we've also had a few retired, so. Basically, it's running about the same. I can walk you through this. If you look at just medical claims paid by the plan on the annualized column, we're down 4% compared to last year.
So we're looking at, the left column is actual for 13.
Yes, actual for 13.
The middle column is what we're through October of this year.
Yeah, through the 31st of October.
And the right column is if you average it out over 12 months.
Yeah, yep. So, prescription drug claims paid by the plan, that's ticked up just a little bit, compared to a year ago, 18%.
Because at 10 months, we're what we were at for a
Yeah.
year.
Right. So, total claims paid by the plan, 2013 was 288,561. We're estimating 294,032, or a 2% increase over last year. And then we broke it down for claims paid per month, and then broke it down for claims per employee per month. So, actually, the claims per employee per month is down 11%, so. Fixed cost, mutual med fees running the same as last year, HealthLink PPO. Our individual stop loss, we were at 170 last year, it's gonna be 198,730 this year. And aggregate stop loss is the 13,893, it's gonna be up just slightly over last year, but a lot of that is due to having almost 10 more lives on the group, so. Total fixed cost, 210 last year, we're at 240 this year. Again, I think that's all contributed straight back to having 8 more employees on the healthcare plan than we had the previous year.
How do we get 8 more, I wonder? I mean, I think we only hired 2.
I'm
Some
trying-
people that didn't have it took it,
Yeah.
like Cheryl.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but I just, I didn't know how that worked out.
But overall, you know, last year, total plan cost was $499.78. This year, we're looking at $534,433, which is a 7% increase. But when we took this plan over in 2010, your Blue Cross Blue Shield renewal, had you taken it, the total cost for that year was gonna be $546,000. So, in the last 4 years that we've been on Massac County, you as a client, you've never spent what your 2010 renewal was with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So that's 4 years, I mean, Blue Cross isn't gonna come in and go, hey, we're gonna hold this at $546,000, and never give you an increase. But, you know, we told you when we come in that, you know, if you can control your claims, you can control your cost. And with Mutual Medical's cost control measures, we've been able to do that. And for the last 4 years, we've never spent more than what your, actually, we've always spent less than what your 2010 renewal was for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
So it looks like for this year, we would be saving $73,991 based on what the renewal rate was for 2010 on Blue Cross Blue
Yeah.
Shield.
Yep. Because I think we've always funded to, I wanna say we've always funded, because we were using that 707 per employee per month number for singles. And that was what your renewal was with Blue Cross when we took over. And we just said, keep those rates. So we've always been trying to fund to that. I don't know if there's, you know, how much is in that account. I think we've been kind of cash flowing that for a lot of it. But you guys also have that tort levy that you did. So that
helps us out.
That helps, so. So that's just kind of a snapshot. You know, anytime I can come in and tell a group, you know, look, we told you 4 years ago that we're gonna come in and bring your costs down and stabilize it, and I think that's a testament to it. So this is a 2-pager. This is the actual renewal. So this is based on 63 employees. First page there just lays out the admin fee, network access fee, and totals it together and gives it to you annually. And then below there is our current, we've got a $30,000 spec deductible, and we've got 57 on the regular healthcare plan, and then we've got 63 total on the aggregate. So we've got about 5 people, or had 5 people, somewhere around in there, that had the, I guess 7, the MRP, the medical reimbursement plan. Now, one of those is an employee that just retired. We've hired someone to take their place. So, but if you notice there, that it's a composite premium, $290.45. Then there's a total estimated annual premium, $198,667.80. The aggregate insurance premium is $21.44. What that does is that gives us that cap, so that we'll never exceed X amount of dollars, sort of like your Blue Cross renewal was. You know that you're never going to exceed, well, in this instance, we were looking at $433,944 in maximum annual claims liability. So our actual claims, not counting the fixed cost, our claims ran $294,083.85, which is a 68% loss ratio. So that is fantastic. Compared to the previous year. So if we go with the renewal A, which is just keeping everything the same, the spec deductible went up 4%, okay, from $290 to $302, which equates to $7,947 increase. But then my underwriter reduced his factors for the ag premium per employee per month 3%, so from $574 down to $557. So our actual maximum plan cost on line 11, under renewal A, your actual plan costs are less for this coming year than what we assumed would be for last year. So basically, it's a wash, is what it amounts to. Now, we're assuming that we're probably not gonna run that 68% loss ratio next year. Be great if we can, but we bumped that to 75%, and that's what that 315,819 represents, is a 75% loss ratio based off of that 421. So,
What was our loss ratio in 13?
oh, that is a good question.
And I didn't know if we would be running. in that.
You've been running pretty low. It's never, I don't think it's ever went over 75% loss ratio. Ever. If I don't have it, I can get it, but
I just didn't know if we had some history now that we can kind of start, you know, looking at it, it's been running pretty similar to 2 or 3 years in a row.
well, I mean, yeah, we've got that because we know that we've never spent over what your 2010 renewal was. And that's assuming that Blue Cross never gave you another increase for 4 years, and we all know that's never gonna happen. I mean, Blue Cross doesn't believe in giving a decrease.
At 57, what does that represent right there at 5?
57 employees that are on the regular healthcare plan, the
Okay.
deductible co-insurance plan.
Okay.
And there's 63 total,
So we got 6 that's on the other plan.
yes, 6 that is on the MRP.
Okay.
Yep. And one of those, is Aston still with you guys?
I don't
One
want
is
to.
that one got hurt? Or-
Had the stroke?
Yeah, still with us.
Okay. That's one
I
of them.
think, you know, I think he's looking at,
This building.
yes, but I mean, none of that's been taken care of yet.
Yeah. He's a poster child for the MRP because he was on his spouse's plan and that picked up everything on his stroke that there was, and the county just paid the deductible co-insurance for him and her. I talked to her a couple of times, she called and I got this stuff, what do I need to do with it?
Yeah.
So, you know, that probably right there saved you, oh gosh, probably $250,000 easy, you know?
Probably.
So, and that was shifted right back to Harris, or at least that's where it was when we
She
took over.
worked down there.
She worked at Harris at the time, so I'm assuming that's where it's still at, but. So, you know, that's one thing that the MRP does is, you know, it helped them in their time of need because they had some deductibles and stuff, obviously. So, and they may still hit it again this year because of everything ongoing, so. But, anyway, so yeah, you're looking at maximum plan cost is less this year going forward than it was what we predicted for last year. If you,
How often do we hit that 30,000 mark?
I think we had one person, because all we've gotten back so far, I'm back on this first page, Gerald.
Okay.
In highlighted red here, claims paid by Symetra, 19,622. So we've only really had one person. So.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if we should take the gamble, you know, we moved it up.
You could, I mean, it's a $7,900 increase on the composite, but overall, it's not saying, you know. Because the problem is when you raise your spec deductible, it also increases your aggregate. So see, instead of going 421, it bumps it to 427. So we save on we're basically realigning the dollars. We're gonna save 8,000 up there, but we're also picking $2,500 more per employee
Right.
on there. But again, the argument you can make is, we've only had one person, I don't think we've ever had more than two the whole time we've done this for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you wanna save a little bit of fixed cost and do that, then by all means, yes, that would be, you know. And it would depend a lot on how much you've got in that account too. You know, if you've got 50,000 built up in that as a reserve, then,
I say we just probably cash flow for what we need, I don't know what you think, what do you?
So I did.
okay, that's fine. I mean, we've got 4 years worth of data and we know,
Yeah.
you know, that this thing's running great. You know, I don't know.
Jared, I was just thinking if, you know, if we've only had like one claim over 30,000, I mean,
Mhm.
I wonder if you
Yeah, I
just
know.
ever increase it and you could save on your fixed costs. But like Jeremy said, you know, if you do go over it, your maximum liability could be higher.
Well, it's gonna be, I mean, cause,
421 to 434.
yeah, if you jump all the way to the 5,000, yes. So, you know, probably what I would recommend is, let's just let it ride the way it is, you know, and we can change that, up that individual stop loss next year if we get hit with, you know, for whatever reason, an odd year and have 5 claims, and the underwriter's really wanting to hit us.
Would be cheaper, Jason, what you're talking about on the employees, less than $65 a month, or the?
It'd just be cheaper on the responsibility of
The
the
county.
taxpayers, yeah.
Yeah, Right.
I mean, it would just make our annual fixed costs a little bit cheaper. I mean, it could save us $20,000 over the year if we went,
right.
247 to 227. You know, Jeff's not here today, and I'm sure we'd like him to be a part of it
That's fine,
too.
no problem.
When's your deadline to have this done by?
All I need, and I can come back at any meeting and talk to Jeff about it, that's fine. I just need to know what to renew at.
Yeah.
These renewal figures are firm unless we have, brain cancer that creeps up. I mean, if I call him and say, hey, we're just gonna keep everything the way it is, renew it at that.
Yeah,
And
that's
brain-
probably pretty likely what we'll do.
You know, brain cancer comes along, then he'll readjust, but I don't foresee that.
Juanita, are we open, the 23rd? What's our schedule the week of that? Do you know? I mean,
Yeah, we'll
business
be
as
good.
usual?
Yeah, business as usual on the 23rd.
Okay, 24th, 25th, the courthouse is closed, 26th too, or?
I don't know about the court system, but I do know my office will be closed and the treasurer's office
Are
will
y'all
be
closed
closed.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, or just Wednesday or
As
Thursday?
far as I know, just Wednesday and Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Miss all that great
Unless somebody
shopping.
comes up with something.
Would you say the 23rd? That'd give us
Should
2
know.
weeks
Yep.
to make sure that Jeff's had a chance to look at it, we've all had a chance to digest it.
Oh, yeah, he should be back
Yeah,
next week.
so let's say the 23rd,
That's fine.
okay, put you down for that. But, I mean, it looks like we've done a good job, and the renewal A probably is the best choice, but.
All of my groups with Mutual Med is doing fantastic. I mean, the city over here basically had the same renewal, you know. So I think their increase was, total overall was 0.6%. To me, that's not even worth,
And
you
what's
know.
what's our increase looking at? Is it 3% the way you look at it?
well,
Or do you look at it down the very bottom line?
at the very bottom, it's gonna be a decrease,
Yeah.
because your maximum liability is decreasing.
Yeah, at negative 0.73, is what you look at?
Negative point, yeah, -3%, well, see, he gave us a 4%.
Or you're looking at okay, you're looking at the maximum claims.
The
of
very, yeah, maximum,
So it'd be negative, it'd be minus 3%, it would drop down.
yeah, something like that, should be, so, I think the most I've had a group increase this year has been 5%. So, I mean, what Mutual Medical does is, when we first take over a group, is completely out of the box thinking, and everybody's like, are you sure you can do this? And, you know, but it works, and everybody I've got has saved money with them. We brought their healthcare costs under control, and it's worked tremendously. So,
I just have to judge it on the people working here. We haven't had very few complaints, you know.
right.
So that's a good thing, and I'm hoping if they do have complaints, they would tell us about them.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Jeremy, I do have one complaint. Yesterday I tried to send something and
It
would
didn't
not
fax.
go. Larry Glasgow is dropping,
Okay.
on full Medicare February 1st.
Okay,
So you could pass that along, or if you need the paperwork, I've
Yeah,
got it
I'll-
out there, I just
yeah,
can't get it faxed.
you're faxing it to me,
I was faxing it, no, to
Mutual
Carol.
Med? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, if you wanna give me that, I'll take it. I sometimes have trouble with my fax,
Uh-huh.
I have Frontier,
Oh,
and
okay.
I would love to, but I'm in the middle of nowhere and there ain't no other carriers.
Yeah.
Cause I hadn't got, you know, I don't get faxes very often. But we noticed, my wife goes, well, the alarm, we got a house alarm, and once in a while it was going on.
Gary, bring the chill in.
And we'd never thought nothing about it. Well, then somebody said, well, Jeremy, I'm trying to send you a fax. And I said, okay. I said, well, go ahead and try it again. Well, nothing come through. But the alarm kept going on. And it was just intermittent. There was no pattern, no nothing to it. And finally, it dawned on me. I told somebody to fax it. And somehow, because our alarm system goes through our phone line, somehow it had gotten screwed up, and when someone was trying to send me a fax, it was setting off the buzzer
Oh.
on our home alarm.
Uh-huh.
And I called Frontier and I said, hey, get out of here, this is, and the Frontier guy goes, oh, you guys had to screw with that it can't be feeding back through, and I said, dude, there ain't nobody been here to do anything, and he come in, went down the basement and looked at it, and he goes, yeah, there's a problem. I'm like, no kidding. You know? And I would have never thought it, but like I said, I had somebody trying to send a fax right then,
Yeah.
and it finally, I'm like, holy cow, for the last week, that damn thing's been going off intermittently, and it's because somebody was trying to send me a fax. And, it just irritates the hell out of me.
You know, I just happened to think I probably could scan that and just email it.
Yeah,
I think I've got her email address.
yeah,
and I'll copy
Carol
you
at
on it.
Mutual Medical, yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And let me take a copy too.
Okay, well, if you'll just go into my office and ask the
Yeah,
girl, it's
I was-
just tell her it's
yeah.
in Larry Glasgow's file.
Okay,
She should know where that's at.
okay, so
There's nothing with Delta Dental that he has.
I
No.
don't deal with
Alright.
any of that.
Well, that's still ongoing at the moment.
We'll get it worked out.
But now, if you wanna shop that dental, let me know. I've got some carriers that we can take a look at, so.
We're gonna end up owing them money, so you might wanna have them to get us some quotes.
Yeah, if you want some, I don't know how many
Okay.
people's even on the dental program.
Now, one thing that I wanna do, is we're gonna update this, plan document. Because, you know, last year we were talking about the Affordable Care Plan, our ACP, that we were gonna roll out January 1 due to healthcare reform. And we've started doing that with all of our groups. We're actually up to about 200 people on that option now, at a savings of about $11 million for our clients total. That's where we take the highest liability clients. We had a kid the other day that it's called Factor 8, which used to, we called it hemophilia, where their blood won't clot, and this kid was on a $99,000 injectable drug every 2 months. And we put him on the ACP, which basically we buy a policy on the exchange, the group pays the premium, picks up all the deductible co-pays. I think on that kid, it was gonna be like $12,000 total, and we shifted over
So last year we
$250,000.
talked about maybe doing that with some like
Yes.
surgeries that we knew was coming up and stuff like
Yes,
that.
and there is one person down here I wanna talk to about getting on that for January 1. but I wanna get this updated so it's in our plan document. So, and probably when I come back, I'll bring enough,
Well, I mean, when you go to talk to that patient or that person, you let us know and make sure that,
but we've not had anybody say no yet.
okay.
I mean,
It's just gotta be explained well to make sure that
Right.
they realize that.
yeah, it's no cost to them, yeah, everything's picked up.
And then they come back on our policy after a period of time.
Once
And no
the
cost to
issue,
them, no issues to them, and nothing like that.
yeah, now, this is our first renewal year for it, so we're reevaluating some of those folks, and, they've gotta qualify for it, and if they don't, they come back to the regular plan with deductibles, co-pays. So some of them have said, well, I kinda like being on this, and I don't pay for it, and everything's 100%.
Yeah.
So, but it's been a very good thing for all of our groups, but I'll bring some, little flyers that if they wanna put in the paychecks when they go out. How many paychecks, Juanita, do you guys, 63 be enough?
No, there's more people than that.
Okay.
I think total 87.
Okay. Well, this would for sure be just the ones on the health insurance.
Okay, well then that'd be just
63.
63.
Okay. So definitely want them to know it's available, and if they're thinking about having some sort of surgery, I mean, it's not gonna catch somebody having a stroke in the shower, of a morning, but if it's,
But it saves that person for having to pay their co-pays and all
oh
that.
yeah, and it shifts a lot of the, in this kid's instance, $250,000 that we knew was a known gonna happen. There was no doubt, he's gotta have it the rest of his life, so.
Will they still be able, if they move to the other alternative insurance there, would that affect them with the physician they've already planned on?
No, because what we do is, we go on the exchange, because we're basically buying a policy from the exchange. There's usually 4 or 5 different companies that offer plans in that zip code. And we usually look and make sure that their doctors are in
Because
that
it'd be
network.
important to the person.
Yes, absolutely.
Once they build a relationship with that
Yes.
doctor, they don't wanna have to swap.
Yeah,
to another doctor.
it's kind of like having a woman that's 6 months pregnant. You're not gonna ask her to switch her doctors.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do it.
No.
So, all right, guys,
All right, we'll
I'll
see you
be
back
back on
on
the
the
23rd. Yep.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Problem. I'll tell them what to get to bring us in.
Which
You got
I
my card.
don't think is gonna be that bad. That's when I'm virtually taking all this property off the tax rolls. And
All the area by the First Baptist Church.
Cause, yeah, all of that's gonna be coming off in Unionville Road, because, last year I just did a partial reassessment to everything that I found to be damaged. Now it's, if it was totally gone, they still only got a partial last year. Now this year they'll get a full year. And then, of course, there is some new construction, but it wasn't there January 1st, so it's gonna take me a few days. But basically, my plan is still to publish in January. So, which will be a little bit ahead of where we've been in the past as far as getting the public noticed. Which brings me to the next part. I went through my budget for 2014. Got her? And what I basically am doing there is moving line items. And I'm moving the highlighted at that middle, that's money I'm moving out of those line items, and I'm moving down below to areas where I was overspent. Okay, that's my understanding of what I needed to do, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
In doing so, I've got a copy that I need you guys to sign of the amendment to the budget. And I made 2 sets, if I could get a copy, a signed copy to go as well. So basically, I'm gonna be under budget except for one thing, and there was some confusion, and we kind of already discussed that a little bit about publication, and I'm still not clear on if that's something that in the past was budgeted somewhere else, but going forward, I need to budget it. I just need some clarification on that.
We did have a budget for that years
Yes.
ago.
Okay.
It was under 104125.
Okay.
And for the last, since 2012 that I know of, it has not been budgeted. There's not been any money in there. And that's-
1059.25?
No, 1041.25,
Okay.
which was for the whole county.
Oh, okay.
There were certain things that could be
Taken
used
out.
for that, yes.
And that's where that whole confusion came in from on publication and why I was showing it over, because again, it wasn't budgeted, we had to pay it out of somewhere.
So I'm just trying to look here at these yellow dots that you can kind of figure out.
In other words, like the 301, Jason, I put it down there under postage, so it covered the deficit in postage.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, the 400, then I went over and put it into office supplies because I was a total of 628 over in office supplies. And then over there on equipment maintenance, I dropped 200 out of there into office supplies, so that offset, those things will offset those negatives. So in other words, I'm gonna be right on the money.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be under budget except for publication, which there's nothing I could do about it.
No, because it's just,
That was out of my
you
control.
just don't have enough in that, nothing really to offset it.
Right. I mean, otherwise, everything, salaries, everything's right there where my budget was last year. So that was,
Okay. You want me to, I mean, really, it needs to be on the minutes here. You want me to do these amendments to the budget? I want to go through them and, okay, and then I'll just give a copy to Juanita so she can, it's a lot of information. So the first one is we're gonna do an amendment to the budget 2014, amount of 301 from account 1059.12 to account number 1059.24, to make that amendment budget amount of 1801. The second one we're gonna do is amount to be transferred $400 from account number 1059.20 to 1059.55, which that would make the amendment budget amount 1,400. The next one is amount to be transferred is $200 from account 1059.94 to 1059.55, make the amendment budget amount 1,600. The next one is amount to be transferred to $75 from account number 1059.35 to 1059.23. Amendment budget amount now will be $1,075. And the last one is for $50 from account number 1059.35 to 1059.55. The amendment budget amount now will be $1,650. I make the motion, pass that. Gerald, will you second that?
Yes,
Okay. So,
all right.
Thank you very much, Gary, for doing that for us.
That's not a problem. I just wanna make sure that even going forward now, that I understand the process and the expectation of what we're expected as office holders to do. And again, I've told you guys before, I have everything on a computer. I'm tracking things going forward. I didn't see anything to be concerned about. That's why I never did anything sooner until now, until you let me know
Gerald,
that
you
I
can sign all those.
needed to address that.
If you wanna look through them, or I can go look at copies,
okay.
or however you wanna put them in your minutes later, I can just leave it with you one evening. That'd be fine.
Okay, the next thing I have that I'd like to talk about is there any things you guys wanted to discuss on my idea on new construction here and that thought on,
On the property taxes?
yeah,
Well, I
because
hate
I
to-
had about 5 phone calls from people, read it in the paper, said, hey, when's that gonna happen?
I had some people on the opposite side say that, you know, they didn't feel like it was fair.
Yeah,
You know, cause maybe they built a new house prior to that, or, you know, let's say, they're paying taxes and they have a house of that amount, and, you know, they don't think it's right.
and you're gonna have that, but if
You
we
know.
get stuck there, that's not good. We need to go forward. And I'm just trying to come up with something to help the area out, because I really think if you had 25 new homes, whatever it is, and just because I said 10 years, I mean, it could be 7 years, it could be 5 years.
Oh, okay.
But the biggest thing I ever hear about people wanting to build is, what's my taxes? And you know, if they were a little bit lower, and I knew they were gonna be that for so many years, I'd be okay with that. And it was just a thought, and that's it. And
Jason, I talked to Bill Ed about it this morning.
Yes, I signed that.
He was overwhelmed. What was the best idea they've heard?
Because I'm gonna tell you guys something, if you have the lumberyard, your heating and air conditioning people, your plumbers, your concrete people, your block layers, all these people are gonna be working, and you're gonna have money moving. Those people are gonna hire people, they're gonna have, you know, all I'm saying is, I really think economically, you can't believe the impact that has. The only drawback is how do you administer it, and you're gonna have a certain amount of people who aren't gonna be happy. But
You think any other counties in the state that?
I don't know of anybody that's done this.
Okay.
I haven't heard anybody that's done anything like this. I just,
Yeah.
to me, in this situation, at least the taxing districts are getting some money. Right now, I think I have it figured that you could take your market value times 2%, and that's about what your taxes are gonna be, roughly, 2 to 2.5%. But if they knew it was gonna be 1% for a certain amount of time, I think you'd see people a lot more anxious to do things. Because I really think, from everything I'm seeing, everything from the sales data I'm reading and stuff, that this market has reached its low point. I mean, I think we've really reached the worst of the, you know.
I think
The
I'm
foreclosure.
reading they said by 17, we should be coming back out.
Yeah, it's gonna take at least 5 years to come back out of this, and at different times from when I'm looking at some of the data, because people think, oh, my value got hurt. Well, that's not what the data's telling me. The data's telling me that the number of sales slowed down, not necessarily the values. Now you're seeing the values getting affected because of all the foreclosures, and that process got hung up, took 2 to 3 years. So,
Gary, what about farm ground? Has it come down?
well, that's a whole nother hot topic, and that's not a very good topic for this county.
Well, the reason I asked, I was down in Fisk, Missouri yesterday,
Mhm.
talked to a friend of mine. He said the ground down there had fell off from 5,000 acres to 3,500.
Yeah, well, as far as, you know, again, farmland has never been valued in Illinois on market. It's always been based on productivity.
Right.
But part of what's coming out in 15 Payable 16, so everybody understands this, your higher productive land was always taxed higher. So if you had better high productive ground and you went up 10%, you went up like this, where the guy down here with the lower productivity went up like this. So these people for the last 5, 6 years are saying, wait a minute, our tax bills keep going up 10%, and because we're higher productivity and taxed higher, our tax bills are increasing higher. Well, what it's gonna do is make that person lower, pay a bigger portion, and they're gonna feel it in about three years. They're gonna notice a big difference in their tax bill, and they're not gonna be happy. I mean, so that's gonna be a change coming up, because they're gonna have to pay a bigger portion of the burden. So that's just, you know, trying to prepare you for what's coming. Also, I'm in the process with Josh Stratmeyer right now, finishing up the buyouts. And we are getting ready. We had a little problem getting some solid numbers from the state. We finally got those. However, I'm gonna need to go into closed session for property acquisition because something came up and we need to discuss it.
Okay. I'll make a motion and vote both. We just say that. That's it. We got anything else?
No, we just
Okay,
got it.
I'm gonna make a motion to give Josh Trotmeyer's and Gary Ham authority to negotiate property acquisition on some flooded land.
I'll second.
All right, all agree, say aye. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
You bet. Anything else you got?
Yeah, I got something here, it's off the record.
Off the record?
I mean, not off the subject.
Off the record.
Where'd this door go in the basement? Do you know anything about it?
Door in the basement.
Basement door.
Well, we
I thought maybe
changed the
you saw one.
entrance. We changed the entrance to my office. We installed a door.
Yeah, but a couple of years ago. Right?
I don't know when that was. No, it hadn't been that long
Talking
ago.
about when you remodeled the
When you
bathroom?
remodeled the
Oh,
bathroom.
yeah, well, no, this is something new. I thought maybe you'd seen them down there working.
No, you're
on
talking
it.
about the door in state's attorney's office they're working on right now?
Well,
Well,
that's
there's
what I
a-
thought, but it says basement door,
No, I don't know, I know that they're,
and the Wessel boys put it in.
I don't know of any door down in the basement that they're putting in.
I know
Well,
they
the
do.
only thing, the only thing she was gonna have a punch key lock put on this door down here.
Oh, she's got this basement door fixed now.
Okay, I thought maybe they
No,
replaced that for
oh,
some
you know
reason.
what? What they did was they changed the lock, so now if you come in that door, you open it, pull down the handle, and then release it, and you can open the door, and then when you let go, it automatically locks. What was going on was people were really struggling on getting that door relocked. So Marcia had that
Yeah.
back door re-keyed so that now it locks behind you, so people are not having issues
Well, it was
with
staying
locking it.
unlocked all the time.
No, I'm not saying that, Gerald.
I say it was. though.
No, that's not what we're saying. We were saying
That's what
people,
really was happening, actually.
people were asking me to come down and lock the door for them because they couldn't get it locked.
Oh. I
Okay?
understand.
We're never having that door unlocked.
I understand.
So that was the one that Wes was fixed, right?
guess
I think
it's
that's
on
the door
basement
you,
door, I can
it was
think
like
that.
$130?
Yeah,
That's it, that's what it was.
$137.
Yeah, and it works a lot better now, it's a lot more safer,
Yeah.
because, you know,
Because now it locks behind people.
locks behind people and they don't struggle to get it locked,
Sounds good.
okay?
All right,
Yeah, thank you, Gary.
thanks, Gary.
Bill, what's going on? Come up here. You might wanna sit in that chair, this one here sits down. I'm sorry.
Got new chairs too.
Yeah.
Good morning, how's everybody?
You got any extra over there at the office? Slide over?
Yeah, sure we do. We do actually have a couple extras, they're not this nice. I'm sorry, I don't read the paper like I should. Have we made a decision on what we're gonna do about the Banterra Bank?
No, what our plans are is people like yourself and some other people in the community, if you'd be willing to serve on the board, we would like to get you all to participate and go through, for instance, this is the book, and I can email it to you if you'd like to have an email form, but it's about 300 pages. It gives you your options and stuff, but,
Yeah.
let you all serve on it and pick through it, and,
Once you get involved, then
yeah.
that's just what we need today.
I'll throw this out there, just something to think about. The replacement cost on that building, I haven't done the math on the square footage for quite some time, but if you figure it at $140 a square foot, times the square footage, your replacement value on that building is probably gonna be, what, 3.1, somewhere in that
I'd say
neighborhood,
or more.
or more. Okay, what hurts, or what is gonna drive the cost for insurance value on that is gonna be that, because it's masonry construction, your earthquake rates are gonna be through the roof. So I guess I'm just throwing it
We
out
have
there.
that same issue here at the courthouse.
Yeah, we sure do. I'm just throwing it out there for you folks, so you can have that in your mind, that maybe if you ever decide what you do, a steel building would be probably half the insurance cost. Now, I know that sometimes that doesn't fit,
You mean a steel inside? Because didn't that building have?
steel construction, I'm talking,
He's talking about.
without any
two-
masonry.
2-4 walls and all had those
Yeah.
steel.
Was that building, when we got in it, didn't it have a lot of steel? I mean, I know it's brick on the outside, but
Yeah.
wasn't it steel on the,
Well, it was.
I mean, some of the tours were on, but,
Your veneer, brick is what cost.
okay.
And in all your companies, not just our companies, all companies in western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and southeast Missouri are finding a capacity for earthquake drying up. And people don't understand the way it works, but when a company gets so many dollars of value in one area, then it becomes economic, it's not feasible to go it alone. So what they do is they go out to other carriers and go, okay, we have X amount of dollars worth of risk insured, we want you to buy a piece of that pie.
We don't want to be 100% at risk ourselves.
Right, so that's called reinsurance, and the reinsurance companies like Swiss Re and Zurich and all your big international companies have over the years bought pieces of this pie. Well, now those rates are going, they're saying, wait a minute, it's no matter of fault thing, if we have one, we're gonna have to pay off. And we're gonna have to pay off, we're gonna have to charge enough money. So that's what's driving these earthquake rates for everyone, not just my companies, but for everyone. So I guess I'm just sharing with you the fact that insurance is not gonna go down, especially for in an earthquake zone with a masonry building.
Okay.
I think on the news last night, what California's gonna spend, how many billions of dollars trying to upgrade their public buildings to be earthquake proof. I think that's a waste of money, but that might just be me. But just something to throw out there.
Okay, well, thank you.
Trying to control our costs here, we're losing people, we've got less people living here now than we did 5 years ago.
Would you be willing to serve on a type of board like that?
I'll do anything to help help Massac County,
Okay.
free of charge, and always would have.
Uh,
What I'd like to see would be you guys acquire all those buildings that way, all the way to the corner, close that street off, and tie all these buildings together. I think that would be to me, that'd
Well,
make more
there's
sense.
different choice, there's three options
Yeah.
in there, I think.
3 and then,
And some other options.
and then
possible.
4th would be nothing.
Yeah.
If you don't have the money, you can't do much, can you?
That's right, but yeah, that's what's hurting us.
Would you want me to email that to you, or?
Is this the only copy you have?
Well, that's.
Yeah, just email it to me.
Yeah, what's your email?
Bill@GowerInsuranceAgency.com, all spelled out. Yeah, just email it to me. Well, I was pretty sure that you haven't taken over the building, but I just wanna kind of touch base and make sure.
June, Bill.
June of next year.
June next year, you're for sure gonna take it?
Yes, I mean,
We've
gotta
already
give them
bought it.
basically.
Now,
yes.
your other
And
option.
we could always, 3 years down the road, I think it's 3 or 5 years,
3.
we could sell it if we chose to.
Right, the other option that you could do is if you were in the gambling mood, you could just insure it for what you think they give it to you for, and if something happened, just know that you don't have replacement cost, and you could save some money that way. And you might roll the dice on earthquake, you might just leave it off of there.
I don't think we have earthquake on this building.
I think we do,
Do we?
Yeah.
I didn't think we did.
yeah. But there's gonna come a point in time whenever all companies are gonna say, you know, well, you need to pick and choose what's important to you, as far as earthquake, and let the little stuff go.
Right. I don't like, I have it on my personal residence.
And you're gonna see the rates continue to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure is.
It's not too bad now, I would say it's like, what, $200 a year?
Yeah, depends, is it brick or frame?
My house is just frame.
Then it's
Yeah.
$200-300 a year. If it's
Yeah.
brick, it'd be $700 or $800.
Oh, okay.
One other thing I was wanting to ask you when you leave, it's on a totally separate matter, has nothing to do with the county, I'd like to talk to you about a piece of rental property.
Okay, you wanna buy some?
No, I want to talk to you about one. I guess that's all I have, I just kinda wanna stay in the loop here on what you want me to do and not to do on the building, so. Like I say, I don't read the paper thoroughly, I just skim it.
Well,
I know there's some
I think our
options.
big thing is, we're trying to get names, Gerald's come up with some names, and Jeff and other people, try to get a group of, community members that can take that information and help pick through it. And, then we'll bring these group of people down that laid that out for us, and you all ask them questions, and try to come up with something that you all feel like is a good idea, maybe we can move forward with it.
Yeah, it would, I guess if they gave you the building, if you could find somebody to, sell it to before you took possession of it would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but there's taxable things that I think we have to hold on to for 3 years, because they're giving it to us.
Oh, I see.
I mean, the
You
way.
got- you got stipulations, you can't
Yeah,
just,
the way Patrick and I, they've looked into it, the revenue service, and, I believe we have to hold on to it for 3 years,
okay.
you know.
Well, there's several ways we can go there. We can go actual cash value and just insure it for what you got in it.
Which, we're not paying that before, I mean, there's a few taxing bodies that we're going to have to pay their taxes for, but that's it.
Yeah, okay.
Jason, do we take possession June, or is it up to them when we? They're not
I
gonna
mean,
put
it-
building down, are they?
Originally, it was June of 2015, but it seems like they have not even started on their new
No.
project, so they might come to us and say, let's wait till December of 2015,
Okay.
which would be fine,
They have that option?
yeah,
Okay,
which would be fine for us.
yeah.
Because, I mean, I doubt if, it's gonna take us some time to get everybody together to try to make some decisions.
Oh, yeah.
It's not something we need to hastily just run into,
Yeah, that's true.
you know.
So I just want to make sure that I was on the right page
Okay.
about the building.
We'll step out here if you wanna talk.
Okay, it's just, take 2 seconds.